Hello and welcome to Stage, Screen and In Between with Helen. Today I'm at the Southampton History Museum for a wonderful event by Christine Guarino's A World of Pink. Take heart in art. Stay with us. I am with Christine Guarino, who is the founder of A World of Pink, and today we're at a very important event in Southampton at the Southampton History Museum, and we are here for the Take Heart in Art event. Hi Christine, this is so wonderful of you.
Thank you so much for always being here for us and supporting World of Pink Foundation.
Hey, listen, as a breast cancer survivor, I really love the fact that you're helping everybody, especially being you don't even have breast cancer.
Right.
And you're doing so much and you have this calling. So before we talk about the importance of today, it's a very important day and we're honoring an artist who has wonderful artwork. She's a breast cancer survivor. But first we're going to find out a little bit about Christine's journey and A World of Pink. So Christine, tell everybody a little bit about how you started, why you're here, and why this is your life mission now.
So I started in 2012, and I can't believe it's that long, and we wanted to make women feel beautiful after breast cancer surgery. And the more I learned about healthcare, Helen, and the more it was difficult in the aftercare, we created a movement for women to be able to feel whole and beautiful by giving them prosthetics and bras for the after and in between, from expanded to implant, to make them symmetrical and even. As time went on, we had 4 locations, and now, because of changes with COVID and business and the expansion and the growth, we are now telemedicine across the country.
That's wonderful.
And we're really excited about that. Today's really special because this particular woman, Melanie J, came to me 3 years ago and said, I have these 2 pieces of artwork and I wanted you to see them. And she has been expressing herself through her artwork. As we know, the challenges of expressing yourself through your emotions are very difficult. So artwork really helps to do that.
Yes.
And I believe that it gives you a chance to move in a direction of healing and wellness by using other avenues of what we have inside of us, and that's the gift of artwork and maybe photography and some different types of, additional talents that one may have. And she came to me and I said, if you have 30 pieces of artwork, we'll do an art show for you. And 3 years later, here we are. So
and here we are,
yes,
right?
It's very exciting.
So do you want to shout out your website so anybody that needs help or wants to find out more can get in touch with you?
Sure, it's www.worldofpinkfoundation.org, and you can go to our shop and you can go to book an online appointment with us, and you can reach me at 631-379-0653, and I'm here to help and be a liaison for you if you need additional doctors or additional information about where you can be treated, or prosthetics, bras, anything that you need. We are here in the after and even before when you're diagnosed. So thank you so much for being here. It means the world to me. You're an amazing
I wouldn't
woman.
miss it. I wouldn't miss it. I'm here for your journey. You're doing a wonderful thing.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I'm with Dan, who is a brand ambassador for WBLI. So Dan, isn't this wonderful? I think it's wonderful that you're here to support the cause today.
We are so happy to be here. It's a beautiful day out. There's no humidity finally.
That's wonderful.
We're so excited to be here to support this cause for breast cancer.
Yeah, and now do you know anybody that's been affected by it?
I don't know anyone personally, but I do know of many stories, many friends, all these celebrities and all that, who had breast cancer, survivors, unfortunately those who had passed.
So Dan, if you had to play a couple of songs for some survivors and thrivers, what would be your choice of song?
I would say Fight Song by Rachel Platten. I feel like that's a good song for support. And You Say by Lauren Daigle. It's very inspirational, very emotional.
Well, I always listen to WBLI, and I suggest you do the same too. Thanks so much, Dan.
Thank you so much.
Great day. I'm with Chanel right now, and she is a brand ambassador for WBLI. How are you, Chanel?
Well, thank you. How are you?
I'm so happy to be here. It's such a wonderful cause for breast cancer. We're here for A World of Pink. So, Chanel, what drew you to be at this destination today?
Well, it's absolutely important for BLI to show support in those affected from breast cancer and also just bring awareness to the cause.
And how healing do you think music is to the
Oh my
cause?
God, absolutely healing. We love music.
What are some of your favorite songs?
Some of my favorite songs would be SZA. Some of my favorite artists include SZA, Taylor Swift, a lot of what BLI plays, the pop station, and the old school hip hop.
And what message do you have for any of the breast cancer survivors and thrivers?
Honestly, just stay strong, and I'm grateful that you've made it through, and I hope we can continue to support your journey.
Wonderful. Thank you, Chanel. I'm with Tim from the New York Blood Center, and he's going to tell everybody why it's important for him to be here today. How you doing, Tim? Why is it so important for you to be here for the New York Blood Center?
I'm doing well, and we're proud to be here and partner with the World of Pink and Christine and get the word out about how important blood donations are, especially platelet donations for cancer patients. Oftentimes, breast cancer patients will have to go through chemo and radiation, and platelets, which is the thing in your blood that helps you clot, often get depleted during this time, and the donors will need a platelet infusion, and that's where we come in. We have volunteers that come in and donate their platelets, and they can be used to restore platelets in the bloodstream when the bone marrow is affected by radiation and chemo. So it's really important that we have the platelets when they need them.
How long does it take for people to donate that?
So platelets is the longest donation, so that could take up to 90 minutes to 2 hours. So I do it twice a month. I try to block out 2 hours of my day, and we come in, and it's a really feel-good donation, and we're happy to welcome all new donors, existing donors. Whatever you can do would be wonderfully appreciated.
That's wonderful. And do you have a website?
nybc.org, where you can sign up to donate. You can also accumulate points by donating, and points can be spent just like an Amazon store. The more you donate, the more points you get, and the more things you can order online.
Great.
It's an added incentive for folks.
Great. And Elaine, tell everybody why you're here.
I'm here because I volunteer, and I do volunteer at the fire department in Southampton. But I'm also here to try and get donors. No matter how old you are, you can still donate.
Yeah.
As long as you have a doctor permission slip, once you reach 75, you can keep going.
Oh, okay. And you know what? You never know when you're going to need the help, so you got to pay it forward to get it back. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Tim and Elaine.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Pleasure to be here.
In this work, Thoughts Like Bubbles, we're going to hear what this means to the artist.
Well, at some point, whether it be from the chemo or from the radiation, I'm not really sure, but about a year after, I just suddenly started losing memory. I was at work. I was a scientist at the time, and it was just hard to get through my day. I was doing functions at work repeatedly, forgetting that I had just done them, and it was really affecting my life. I would ask my family questions and forget that I asked them and ask them again, and it was really devastating for me to, I built my career about being a scientist, and it's part of who I am, and it was, your brain is the most important thing that you have, and to lose my memories of what I was doing from moment to moment became very devastating. So, you know, it was like one moment the thought's there, and then the next moment, like a bubble, it pops and it's gone, like it never existed. So that's kind of where that piece came from.
And how is your memory now?
Fine. It went back to what it was. Okay, I don't want to say fine. I think like any old person, we start to forget little things here and there. So I'm going to say I'm back to that normal.
Okay.
Not perfect, but
Okay.
I can function. I'm a chemist and I can move forward with my day.
So how many years ago did you start your journey?
I was diagnosed May 2020.
May 2020.
Yep.
Okay. Now, is it in your family?
Cancer is in my family. My dad passed from cancer. He had prostate cancer that spread to bone cancer. My uncle had bone cancer and brain cancer. Another uncle had colon cancer. It's in the family.
Yeah. Now, did you have any gene testing?
I did, yeah. I had genetic testing done on me and on my tumors. And I didn't have the BRCA gene. I didn't have any of those genes. So it's environmental, which is where some of the other pieces come from.
Yeah.
Because there's a big question of what caused it. And I don't know.
Okay, Melanie, tell me something a little bit about this creation. Is this done in pastels or oil? What was your medium?
No, I actually made this in black and white acrylic before I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And I took this and I had it digitally reproduced in pink so that way I could do a specific piece for breast cancer awareness. And I took acrylic marker and I drew the tumors and I put a lot of my pain into it. And what you can't see in your picture is that all along the outside of the figure is my diagnosis and everything that I went through. My doctors are all listed on there. My medications are all listed on there.
So, what would you tell somebody who gets a diagnosis of breast cancer? What would you say to them? Is there anything you could say to them that would be of comfort?
You're gonna get through it. You're gonna live. Because I thought I was gonna die.
That's what you think right off, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
Is there a name for this piece?
This is called My Journey.
So now I've asked Melanie if she had to rate her works of art 1, 2, and 3, what is most important to her or significant? And number 1, she drew me over to this mannequin, which is a little startling, but I can see that there's a lot of truth in it. So tell us about this piece and let me know, have you named any of your pieces?
Yeah, this is Awareness is Blind. And I felt like it needed to be said because if all you see is a pink ribbon, you don't really have an understanding for what it means to be diagnosed with breast cancer. And I had many friends that just didn't know. And this was the best way for me to be able to describe to them what I was going through. Things that they didn't know about. These were getting the fills.
Now the tubes actually are blood. There would be blood.
Yep.
And those are the drains that you're left in the hospital. Now, may I ask you, what stage were you?
Stage 2. I had
Stage 2.
And I did a double mastectomy with immediate reconstruction.
Okay.
And these were expanders. So every 2 weeks or so, I had to go and get what they call a fill. And they had to take a syringe and inject the expanders with saline in order to fill them up to stretch the skin to prepare me for a second surgery for the implants.
I understand. And was there a lot of pain involved?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. The first day or 2, you feel like you're run over by a truck and you wonder if you'll survive it.
Yep.
But in a week, it's different, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I spent 2 years in pain, so it was.
You did.
Yeah, it was a lot to go through, and there was a lot of crying and a lot of feeling like I was tortured.
And did you have the feeling of why me?
Yeah, I mean, how could you not, right? But everybody who goes through it, I think, feels that way. Nobody wants to, nobody expects to get cancer.
Yeah. Okay. So, Melanie, I think that's a really good idea that you have saved the envelopes from your prescriptions. So, what does that make you feel when you look at that and you say, gee, I've ingested that? What does it mean to you?
I think that just having this be a breast cancer awareness event, I think that it isn't just about the surgery, it isn't just about what's going on in your breast. It's more about what you're left with for the rest of your life. This is sort of my every day. I'm taking medicine every day, and it's a lot. It's a lot. There's a lot of medication coming and going, and these aren't even all of them. This is just some of them that I've saved from when I had the idea until now, maybe a year's worth.
I think it is a good idea because it's more involved, as you said, than just the surgery. It's the whole package, the diagnosis, the surgery, the treatment, the medications, and you're really making people aware of what you're in for when you have the diagnosis. And it's good to go in with eyes wide open, I think.
Yeah, I mean, before it all happened, well, I should say as soon as it happened, as soon as I got that diagnosis, immediately I go to Google and I start looking, and you want to know what to expect, and I am a visual person, so I went looking for art, and there wasn't any, and that's really what drew me to, I've always been an artist, but I really started putting my thoughts and my emotions down on paper because I didn't feel that there was a good representation of the awareness that was needed,
So right now, I'm with the artist Melanie Meuns, who has done this wonderful exhibit here, and she's sharing it with us for World of Pink. So Melanie, this is so interesting, and I can imagine that it's taken you on a very emotional journey as you look at these pieces. It brings you back to what you were thinking at the time because you are a breast cancer survivor and thriver. So maybe you can tell the people here, these two pictures that we're looking at now, is there any symbolism to this? What does this mean to you?
Well, the radiation piece on the right was basically my thoughts on what I was going through when I was doing the radiation. And I spoke with my doctors, and they said that radiation both cured cancer and it causes cancer. So to me, that was very frightening.
It was honest, though.
Yeah. And I just I didn't understand how it worked, and there's a couple of different types of radiation that people can receive, so I sort of did some research to try to find out, and that's where I put information that I found on the art.
Now, what about the photo on the left, the green one?
Okay, and that's radiation effects. So I feel like this is my representation of how I felt after the radiation was over, because it stays with you. You continue for a long period of time to feel the effects of radiation and the tightening inside of your body. And it's almost like a glowing, this sort of radioactive glowing that's just sort of happening inside of your body, and it's in no one particular place. I became very tired from the radiation, like exhausted, tired, and I would lay down and I just needed to sleep all the time. So this was just sort of,
You know what I see when I see that? I think that the green, to me, symbolizes green is go. Now you can go on, right? Now you can go on because you've done what you needed to do to be well and thriving and live your life to the fullest. And now green is go. So I'm looking at that from an optimistic viewpoint, right?
Okay, yeah, everybody reads it differently.
Yeah, right. Right now I'm with Dr. Juan Jose Gilbert, and he is going to tell us something about his involvement with breast cancer patients. Thank you so much, Doctor, for taking the time to speak to all of us about breast cancer and what you do for breast cancer survivors and thrivers.
Thank you. Well, I'm a plastic surgeon. I do microvascular breast reconstruction and tissue expander reconstruction for breast cancer survivors. Our practice combines cosmetic surgery with the advances of reconstruction surgery so we can restore and improve our patients' lives.
Yeah. So now how important is it for someone to have reconstruction surgery? Because years ago, people didn't really gravitate towards that.
Right. I think that since the advancements of technology in plastic surgery and cancer surgery, we can see that there is a significant improvement on our patients' psyche and lifestyle and quality of life. I think that it's important that we mention and we remember that restoring the body of a cancer patient influences the way they interact with the world. Okay, it's not just the way they see themselves in a mirror, but it's the way they interact with their family and friends.
Yeah.
And for that reason, I think it's important that we integrate this as a normal and routine part of the cancer treatment.
Yeah, and I think it's very important that insurance companies allow payment for this, and they actually demand that you do it in some cases, don't they?
Well, it's federal law. It's federal
Okay.
law. It's
Federal law, baby.
It's federal law that insurance carriers cover for the treatment and recovery of breast cancer and all the associated treatments with the diagnosis of breast cancer. Now, it's been difficult, I'm going to say. It's been difficult in the last few years to deal with insurance carriers because of their situation, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's important that we as healthcare providers or healthcare professionals advocate for our patients and ensure that their treatment goes through and that we are able to provide the care that they need.
So now, how do you know, because there are different styles of reconstruction, how do you determine what's best for a patient?
Well, it depends on a few things.
Tell our audience.
Yes, of course. It depends of a few things. It's not a straightforward answer, and unfortunately, this is not mathematics. So it's a form of art as well.
Yeah.
And we have to take into account several considerations. Is the patient, what are the patient's desires? What are the patient's feelings towards devices or prosthesis? What are the patient's feelings in regards to their own tissue? So depending on what kind of treatment they are supposed to go through, we can determine whether it's going to be just a small reconstruction versus bigger reconstructions. You know, if it's mastectomy or is it just breast conservation therapy and lumpectomy alone?
Yeah.
Do they need a reduction? Do they need a reconstruction with more advanced techniques based on previous radiation? You know, there's a few things that we use to determine the kind of reconstruction our patients will need, and based on that we can make that decision together.
I see. Now, what hospital are you affiliated with?
I'm affiliated with Everywhere here in Suffolk County, and I'm currently leading the reconstruction team at Long Island Community Hospital in NYU.
Oh, okay. And do you have a website where we can go to if we want to find out more?
Yes, of course. It's www.precisionmedicalarts.com.
Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
Here with me now is Laurie Whitehead, and she is a breast cancer survivor. She's going to tell us a little bit about her journey and how she got involved with the world of pink. So, Laurie, tell everybody what happened to you.
They saw a spot on my breast. I went back for more testing, and they said I had breast cancer in my left breast. But there was another spot they were concerned about on my left breast. They did an MRI, and at that time they found a larger lump in my right breast, which caused me to do a double mastectomy. I was very fortunate that both lumps were small. I caught it early because I go for my mammogram every year, and I did not have to have radiation or chemo. I take a chemo pill every morning, but that's it. I recovered nicely, and while I was going through that, I was told about World of Pink. I called, I got great support from Christine and her staff, and I got involved in World of Pink. I did the fashion show. I was a model for the fashion show. Then I helped to organize the golf outing so that we could get more money to give to those people that are going through breast cancer and need support and help. And I'm here today because giving back is one of the best things I can do.
Terrific. Thank you, Laurie.
Thank you.
I'm with Kershel Anthony at the Take Heart in Art for a World of Pink here in Southampton.
Yes.
Now, Kershel does a lot of events for World of Pink. He's a DJ, and he also does work with children. Kershel, it's so good to see you again.
Yeah, it's great to see you too.
And what a beautiful day we have here for a great cause, right?
Gorgeous Sunday. Yes, it's going to be awesome.
So tell everybody why you feel it's so important to do things for World of Pink.
Well, I know Christine for a while, and just the passion that she loves, that she does to help others, especially in the breast cancer circuit, is amazing. And I'm all about that. I'm all about helping others, helping the community, and doing things like this just to build awareness, and also to raise money to do things for what the foundation does for for women.
Right. So now, what's the name of your DJ company?
It's called KBK Events, Entertainment, and Production. Woo woo!
And he does it all. You also bring the stage, right?
That's it.
The music,
Stage and music,
the lighting,
furniture, anything that's necessary to upscale your event or anything like that, we're able to produce.
Yeah, and that's
Yes.
fabulous. Now, you also have an involvement with children. You want to tell everybody about that?
Yeah, so about 12 years ago, I created a program called Kaboom Kids. And Kaboom Kids is a dance fitness program that helps children learn about the importance of staying healthy, staying fit, and also social emotional learning. The mental health state of things, keeping themselves positive, knowing that they are awesome and are destined for greatness. And that's what I
Thank you for watching.